Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. What we're going to be talking about today is things that a new computer science student should know. Now, this is whether you're a new student in college or whether you're a student in a boot camp, or if you're just, starting off by yourself right now, being self-taught, what you should know to ensure that you succeed in learning how to code and becoming a software engineer. Some of these things, I've learned from my career and from my education when I was in school. I went to a university for almost 5 years to get my degree in computer science, and a lot of these things I learned on my journey, and a lot of these things I just picked up along the way, and I just thought I'd share it with you guys. So if you're new to the channel, what we do here is we talk about software engineering at a high level, and I just basically try to give you guys as many tips as I can to help you become a software engineer, whether you're a student or whether you're older and you want to switch career paths. I want to help you guys achieve your goals. If you like the content, feel free to like and subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. I'm super grateful for you. So the first thing you got to consider, when you start off, you're in school, you see all these people around you. Some of them, that, okay, they're really good at programming. You can tell. Some of them, just started learning how to code last week. Wherever you may be on that spectrum, what you have to understand is that comparing yourself to them and, realizing that, oh my God, they're so good, they're so much better than me, or someone else is a lot worse than you, whatever it is, that literally gives you no advantage at all. And you should just not be comparing yourself to other people. And the only person you have to compare yourself is you of yesterday, and you should be considering, are you making progress to be your metric of success, not are you better than other people, right? The only goal you should have when you're in school and you're pursuing this education, right, is to learn. All you have to do is learn. That should be your main goal. So whatever has to be done to learn, that's what you do. And I can assure you that one of those things is not, comparing yourself to others and being better than other people. You're on your own path. And so all you have to do is learn the concepts, make sure you understand what is being taught, and, you're progressing at a good pace, and you'll be successful. Now, on this topic, you can't let your fear of failure or looking stupid stop you from asking questions, right? If you're in class and you want to ask a question, you don't understand something, if you don't ask, then you're never going to get the answer, right? And then you might not be able to find it later. So another thing you got to consider also is that other people probably have the same question you do. They're just afraid to ask too. So you know what? Just ask the question. I've been there before. I've been, shy to ask a question. I thought I'd look stupid, but you really have to realize it doesn't matter. And if you get the answer, that's all that matters really. And finally, everyone's on the same playing field, right? Everyone's on the same spot. Everyone's able to succeed. No one has any advantages. And you have to understand that you can complete this journey. You can succeed here. There's no reason why you can't. So concentrate on learning, guys. Another thing that, I really would like to drill into you guys if you're just starting out, and this is something I wish someone told me, is that make sure if you're in a course, let's say, and there's a syllabus kind of where they teach things one at a time, make sure you understand topics at every single step, right? Because very often in computer science especially, each lecture builds upon another, right? So if you don't understand lecture number one, lecture number two uses things from lecture number one to explain new topics. And so if you don't understand what's going on in lecture one, when lecture two rolls around and they're using stuff from lecture one, you'll be even more confused. And now you're going to be 2 lectures behind instead of just being 1. And this is very, very quick. This adds up very quickly. The snowball gets rolling really fast, especially if you have 3 lectures a week. Like sometimes I had Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you don't understand on Monday, Friday, before you know it, Friday rolls around and you've been confused the whole week. So guys, after a lecture or some lesson, a module, whatever it is, I would say go over what you just learned and make sure you understand things at every step. If you don't understand, ask a question immediately. Another thing that's super important is that you do something every day. You either code every day or you study every day. This keeps things in your memory. If you're using something every day as opposed to, once a week, you're going to become a lot more natural at it. You're going to understand it more and you're going to remember it more. That's the most important part, right? Because sometimes if you go a week without coding and then, you can forget something completely and then you have to kind of start from zero. Also, doing this every day will help you stay on top of your work, right? If you code every day, if you're studying every day, if you're doing work every day, then you're not going to fall behind. I've made the mistake, of procrastinating and leaving things to the last minute, and I would recommend against it. Obviously, I understand that we're all just human. We're flesh and bones. Obviously, you're going to procrastinate sometimes, but understand now that, the consequences of procrastinating suck. And if you do, you're going to stay up all night or something like that. And not only that, but what's going to suffer is your grade. The only thing that's going to suffer is what you want to suffer the least, right? So procrastinating, whether it's, completing a project or studying, regardless, don't procrastinate because you're just going to be worse off for it. On this topic, actually, if you're considering spending an all-nighter for an exam, I would recommend against it. Even if you don't understand the topics, even if you're not as prepared, but if you've slept, well, and you're physically prepared, I've realized that I do better on exams. So, for example, I used to stay up later to cram, and like instead of understanding 70%, I'd understand 80%, right? So the return for how much I was studying and staying up all night wasn't enough. And I realized that sacrificing, an extra 10, 20%, and as opposed to getting a good night's rest of sleep and, being physically healthy the day of like the exam and being calm was way better for me. And like I would get a good rest of sleep and then be doing better on my exams actually. And then there would be no sacrifice of grades because I'm doing better on the exams, even though I'm not staying up all night, right? You don't have to do that kind of stuff. I hated doing that stuff. And when I stopped, my grades went up exponentially. So I would recommend you do the same. Another thing that helped me a lot, when I was struggling in our coding classes in my school, there was, obviously we had assignments all the time, every week, sometimes more than one a week. And we just had to, it was kind of leak code type of questions where we had problems and we had to solve them. And one of the things that helped me when I was struggling a lot was working in a group and, discussing problems as a group and, with your friends, you're shooting the shit. It's fun. And at the same time, you're learning and you can teach someone else a concept and it makes you understand it better. And then someone else can teach you a concept, that you missed. Everyone's getting helped out. And as long as you're not just blatantly copying and one person's just doing it, everyone else is talking and then they share the answer. Obviously, you don't want to do that kind of stuff. But if it's meaningful discussion, if you're able to come together as a group, no one knows what the solution is, and then together find a solution, that is honestly, in my opinion, that is so great. But you do have to, some universities are like hardcore about plagiarism and stuff like that. So I don't want to be telling you guys to plagiarize and shit, but like discussing as a group and collaborating together is, the backbone of computer science and what you're going to be doing in the real world. So if you can do that for a project, I would recommend it 100%. One thing I would also like to encourage you guys to do is, try a hackathon. I'm not saying, I'm not going to sit here and say it's the greatest thing on the planet. Like I'm not a crazy huge fan of hackathons, but I did do a couple and, one of them stands out a lot. I learned a lot from one of them and it was really a great experience. And so I'm going to say don't knock it till you try it. Try at least once. And if it might be something you enjoy, a lot of people really enjoy them. I'm not like a crazy huge fan, but I get it. And hackathons are great for learning and it's a great thing. But yeah, I would definitely recommend trying one. It gives you the opportunity to build a cool project, to collaborate as a team. It's like a simulation of what it's like to be a full-time, professional software engineer. And at the end of the day, you get to build something super cool in a quick amount of time. And, there's prizes. You get to meet new people. It's really a great experience. So I would recommend trying it out and seeing if it's for you. It definitely was something that I was surprised about. So really give it a shot. And, another thing that I would recommend not doing is wasting money on books. I wasted some money on books during my degree and I didn't really use them mostly when it came to computer science, especially. It really wasn't that helpful. So I would avoid buying books, but what do I know? And finally, guys, with your assignments, what I found to be the best strategy to, complete my assignments, get my work done and not be frustrated by how hard it is to treat it as a challenge, treat it as a game. You're coding, you're trying to solve a hard problem and you can do it. And if you try long enough, if you try hard enough, you're going to succeed. And it's really, you can turn it into a pretty fun experience, in my opinion. That's what I did, and it helped me learn a lot. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, guys. I tried to provide a lot of content here. I think it's a lot of good information. Remember, if you're just starting out, enjoy the experience. It's a great learning experience and you get out of it what you put in. So always put in the most effort that you can. If you like the video, guys, feel free to comment down below if there's anything you disagree with, anything you agree with, if there's anything you would add to this list. And if you like the video, feel free to subscribe as well and tell your friends. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching and have a good day.